Whether you are familiar with the John H. Chafee Foster Care Program for successful transition to adulthood, which we call STAY in Minnesota, or you are just learning about it for the first time, this video will provide you with important information that can help you play a transformative role in the lives of young people in our state. Youth in foster care face significant challenges in their transition to adulthood and building successful lives. However, with proper guidance and support, they are able to explore their unique talents and interests, develop knowledge, skills, and aspirations, and acquire relationships and connections that they will depend on for a lifetime. It's all about developing a network of caring adults that they can grow to trust and rely on. This work is often not easy, but in time, the hard work and perseverance can lead to incredible outcomes that make all of the challenges worth it. The Chafee program provides funding to assist youth from the age of 14 up to age 23 who are currently or were previously in foster care. Much of this funding has gone unused in the past, which is why it is so important for you to become familiar with what is available and to help youth access these life-changing resources. In Minnesota, Chafee funds are distributed through the programs you see here. While each of these programs have unique benefits, the overall purpose is to provide guidance and support to develop sustainable, independent living skills as youth transition into adulthood. Full details about each program are available through the website on your screen. It's true that when youth turn 18, they age out of the foster care system. However, there is an option to remain in care until age 21 through the Extended Foster Care Program. Additionally, the STAY program can provide financial assistance, transportation, healthcare planning services, and relationship-based supportive services until age 23. You can learn more about STAY by visiting the website on the screen. Choosing to take part in the Extended Foster Care Program or the STAY program, or taking advantage of both of these programs, is a critical decision that allows youth to continue to receive guidance and support if needed. The networks of support that teenagers develop are what power their growth and success. For many young people in foster care, they often become unplugged from all of their support networks. So it is our responsibility to ensure that they remain plugged into vital resources as they leave foster care. And the data backs this up. In a 2017 survey conducted with foster youth in Minnesota at ages 19 and 21, 94% of youth who extended their foster care stay reported completion of high school or receiving their GED, compared to 72% of those discharged from care at 18. 24% in care reported being employed full-time versus 15% of those out of care. 12% of youth in out-of-home placement reported experiencing homelessness, compared to a staggering 26% for those out of care. And similarly, only 6% in care reported being confined in jail, prison, or a correctional facility, compared to 23% for those discharged. The Chafee program helps with developing the independent living skills that help youth transition to adulthood so that they can support and sustain themselves. Once again, here's the list of programs available and where you can learn more about them. These programs help with education, employment, financial management, preventative health, nutrition, housing, emotional support, and assured connections to caring adults. It really is all about building relationships. April Sedgwick of Anoka County will describe what you can do to make a real difference.
We know that foster youth are often the most challenging to reach in your caseload, but the fact is, they are the ones who need the most help. They are dealing with histories of serious trauma, including physical, emotional, or sexual abuse. This can make it incredibly difficult to trust adults because they aren't used to having positive role models in their lives and have never been taught ways to cope, be independent, or communicate in a healthy manner.
First experience with foster care, I went into this when I was 6 and went into a very unloving home. We experienced, like, I didn't sleep in a bed. I slept in a lawn chair. I experienced a lot of, like, unfairness, and I continued to go into homes after that. Went into 4 more homes along the line and was met with a lot of unsafe circumstances.
You may feel like you play a minimal role for someone in the system, but you really have an opportunity to make a significant impact in a short amount of time.
I think it's definitely about finding the right worker for you. I remember that was the first time I had someone kind of come into my dark situation and try to bring me out of the light. Once I was able to receive the help that my case manager was trying to give, then we did click, and I did have like a bond with them, and we were able to find like a forever home and some safety.
Building trust has to be the first step in developing a relationship with foster youth. This is a very hard connection to make, and it does take time. Youth may generally be shut down, not caring to communicate with you, or have a disdain from the past experience with the system. No matter how they are responding to you, you must be there for them from day one. We cannot wait for time to pass and only engage when their likelihood for adoption decreases. Trust is built from the start. After connecting, find ways to help them achieve more positive outcomes. There are tools available to you, and developing an independent living plan or the independent living screen in SSIS. This is a tool you can use to understand what needs youth have so you can find them the right supports. As was mentioned earlier, there are many great programs and resources available. Sadly, many of those resources go unused. It is your duty to understand and communicate to youth what services are available to them and connecting them with those resources. There is a large continuum of programming and services offered for youth. The focus is not only financial assistance. You can set youth up for long-term success by connecting them to opportunities where they develop life skills, access a full range of services, and develop ongoing supportive relationships. You are the one who can determine if a youth will access life-changing programs or not. Even if their time in foster care is short-lived or they are reunited with their family, these resources never go away. There are even funds and resources available adoptive parents can take advantage of too. The opportunity to make a significant difference is real, and you have to push yourself to be the life-changing force for each of the youth you serve.
I didn't have those resources at first, and I didn't know how to manage my feelings. I didn't know how to manage the stress I was going through until I got plugged in with the resources that I have now, which is mainly the why. I got plugged in with those resources, and it just came out of nowhere, and I was just kind of like, hey, this is something to do. I didn't think it had so much more meaning to it until I've been in it for a while now.
I think what was definitely crucial to my success and where I am today was when I turned 18, I was leaving residential, and I had been in placement for like the last 4 years to that. So I didn't really know what was going to be the next step for me. And so as I was leaving residential, we got plugged in with a life coach. And from there, I had joined like extended foster care, and I got plugged in with the YMCA and skills and ILS classes and stuff.
Once again, here are the list of programs available and where you can find more information about them. There is also a list of nonprofit organizations providing stay and ILS services in your area that you can refer youth to. Beyond connecting youth to these resources, you can help youth to begin setting goals. Setting simple goals is often new for youth, and they often don't have hopes or dreams for their future. By spending one-on-one time with youth in the first month on your case, You will get to know them and their past experiences, and you can work on goal setting together. This is another way you build trust. Start by asking solutions, focused questions. This is your life. What do you envision for yourself? What do you want for yourself? Help them see that they are the one in control of their future. No one else is. You are not and should not be the decision maker. You have to trust youth and encourage them to be their full selves. It can be natural to attempt to impose things or not approve of how youth are using funds. You may feel like you know what is best for youth. It's important that we let go of this way of thinking. We must find out what youth want to do and help them achieve it. Don't give up on them when they make a bad decision. That is part of learning. When things don't work out as planned, help youth understand they are not a failure. Sometimes things need to be put on hold or adjusted, but they can overcome difficult times. Lastly, ensure that you are using culturally responsive and trauma-informed practices towards working with youth. Racial and social inequities, including discrimination and economic inequality, are reflected in our foster care system. Racism, poverty, and prejudice shape our social welfare system, which means that transition-age youth are more likely to be people of color or otherwise marginalized. On top of that, many of these young people are being moved from communities of color into communities that are predominantly white, with limited exposure to their traditional identities. They often experience a loss of their culture and cultural appropriation from people in these new communities, and it's important for them to be able to find ways to continue to be their authentic selves. We need to sharpen our focus on inequities that foster youth experience before, during, and after they are in the foster care system if we want to fully support them as they become adults. Again, you play a truly important role in changing the outcomes for foster care youth. To provide that life-changing support, you must build trust, connect them to resources, create goals, and help them reach their full potential by being their own person.
Thank you for taking time to watch this important video. Here is where you can find the resources discussed in this video.